Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hypocrisy in boxing, and we're going to get it again. Smash the like button for your landlord. We're in the building. And you know what we're going to do is what we always do. We're going to come in, we're going to speak the truth, but we're also going to expose the hypocrisy that they have in boxing right now. There's nobody else to expose hypocrisy like Mr. Two Hands Up. Salute, my brother.
Salute, my dude. What's good, man? Let's talk
Say,
about it.
Man, I got a lot of energy this morning, Mr. Two Hands. I
Oh,
got a
yeah.
lot of energy. And unlike the Charlo brothers, my nose ain't touched no white powder. I'm ready to
Oh,
go. I'm ready to
oh,
go. Today, we not playing with them, Two Hands. We not
oh,
playing with them.
oh.
It's
Charlo's on the smack.
they on something for
They
turning
on the
down
booger
career high
sugar.
paydays.
They on that booger sugar and sweet candy. Come on, man.
Let's go. Look, the first hypocrisy that we got to get into is this. You know, I've been having a lot of people tell me all on social media and everywhere that Triple G is a hype job. Triple G is a hype job. So I don't know if anybody out here thinks that Triple G is a hype job or not. But if you think Triple G is a hype job, there's a lot more fighters that you can consider a hype job because Triple G was a unified champion. Triple G struggled against Canelo. Is Canelo better than Sean Porter? Because Errol Spence and Triple G look like they did about the same. Triple G has actually done more.
Yeah, man. Triple G ain't no hype job, man. You can't call that man a hype job. And really, like in a lot of areas where Triple G tried to be great, it was kind of railroaded by people not even wanting to fight him. Because, like, the guys that were champion at the time really wasn't giving Triple G the opportunity, so.
I mean, think about it like this, Two Hands. Think about it like this. What's his name? Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. pulls out of a fight with Triple G, and then Kell Brook fights him. But here's the problem. Now, Chris Eubank Jr. is saying he wants all the Triple G smoke. He wants to fight Triple G right now. Billy Joe Saunders, that fight didn't work out. Is that Triple G's fault? Triple G fight Canelo. Most people had him win in the first fight. I even said that Triple G beat Canelo the first time around. So if that's the case, why are we calling the guy a hype job?
Man, the thing is, they looking at this dude right now with 37 years old. They looking at the war he just went through with Sergey Derevyanchenko, and they trying to poke their chest out based off of that shit. I don't think it has anything more to do with it than that, because I don't really think they would be jumping out the window like this if, you know what I mean, Triple G was a little bit fresher than what he is right now.
That's what I'm saying. They talking greasy. But here's the problem. The last thing that leaves a fighter is his power. So no matter who you are, the last thing that leaves you is that power. So, Triple G, he might not be this, he might not be that, but that power is still going to be there. He's still going to have some power and some pop, because if you look at that Sergey Derevyanchenko fight, Sergey didn't just come in and watch Triple G and they robbed him blind. Triple G put hands on Sergey Derevyanchenko as well. Sergey's face was swollen to the rafters. His shit was looking fucked up. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that Two Hands.
Oh, no, absolutely. That's why I felt like that's a fight that you could have called either way, and I would have been happy with it, because every time Sergey Derevyanchenko had the pressure Triple G with the combinations, Triple G had to pressure him right back to gain those points right back to kind of like balance out the scale. So it was like one would rush, put on a barrage of combinations, then Triple G would fire back off with combinations. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good fight, man. Like, you can't call him a hype job, man. The guy got pop. He's got power. I think right now Triple G is just in a position of transition, because, like, to be honest, he just got with Jonathan Banks 2 fights ago. So we only had him for Steve Rolls, and he only had him for Sergey. So he's trying to implement a whole new style, and he's trying to make him change his head move, implement head movement and shit like that. And that wasn't ever the game plan when he was with Abel Sanchez. So, I mean.
And look, here's the thing. The man has went up and fought the best 2 fighters in the division, whether people like him or not. Does he take some easy fights? Yeah, he does. But name a fighter right now that I can't think of any fighter that never took an easy fight. Never. I've never seen it. Think about it like this. And then you look at it like this. You see, and people criticize him, and they say he's a hype job. That narrative has been debunked. This guy's not a hype job. He's a former unified champion. His biggest loss could have also been his biggest win, and it was controversial. You cannot call that man a hype job. That sounds like hate to me. That sounds like absolute hate.
I mean, they gave him a real slick draw in that first Canelo fight where I clearly felt like he won the fight. I mean, there's no question in my mind about that. But at the same time, he still fought, Danny Jacobs, beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? That fight could have that was a good fight. Danny Jacobs showed up for that fight, but he still fought Danny Jacobs as well. You know what I mean? So I'm like I don't see how you can just shit on Triple G. Like right now, he ain't really in a position where you could really shit on him right now. Now he about to fight Canelo again for a third time. So hopefully a boxing come back in the fall. So
and here's the interesting thing too, Hen. Canelo and his team are talking about, they said they wouldn't mind the fight at 160 because that's where the belt is, but they would like, they would be open to the idea of having the Triple G Canelo at 168. I think that might help Triple G. He wouldn't have to cut as much weight. He's a little bit older, so that could help him. That might make for a much more interesting fight. I would prefer it at 168 at this point. I mean, I wouldn't mind 160. I understand that it got to get taken care of, but 168 wouldn't be the worst thing simply because these guys got a score to settle. And it'll make it a more competitive fight, in my opinion. The fact that he'll have a little bit more weight, he won't have to, lose as much weight for the camp. I mean, what do you think on that, Tuan?
I mean, yeah, if you want to fight him at 168, but
the body shot's gonna thud either way, though.
Yeah, people gonna talk that Andre Ward bullshit though.
And look, and that's not to say that Triple G is free of criticism. Because look, didn't he say he would come up to fight Andre Ward at 168?
I thought he said he wouldn't go. He said he wouldn't fight him at. He said he wouldn't fight him at 68, but he will fight somebody. Who was it? Was it Floyd? Who was the fighter at the time? He said he would fight. He said he wouldn't fight Andre Ward. He said fighting Andre Ward. No, Abel Sanchez said it. He said something about fighting Andre Ward up at 168 wouldn't make no sense because, you know what I mean, ain't no money involved in it. But if you get Floyd to come to I think, what did they say? Was it like a 160 catch weight or something like that?
Punch Quote says it's a 164 catch weight, looks like it would have been. So if he goes up and fights Canelo at this point, but didn't fight Ward, he is looking like a hypocrite. You got to say it. Oh, and then Unbiased said he would fight Carl Froch at 168, but not Ward. So that looks like he just never wanted that Andre Ward energy at all. He just was not interested in any of that smoke.
And niggas know how I feel about Andre Ward. Andre Ward he was a dominant fighter. His resume speak for itself. You know what I mean?
One of the pound for pound all-time greats.
Facts, consistently. What he did fucking consistently was pretty solid. But yeah, man, yeah, man, he did. If he fight Canelo at 168, man, yeah, niggas definitely gonna shit on him about that Andre Ward situation.
Now, two hands. I'm finna hurt some people's feelings here. So if anybody's listening and you're really sensitive and you don't want to pay your rent, you're past due on your bills, you might as well jump off the live stream because if you're sensitive, you're about to get your feelings hurt. Because this episode is all about the hypocrisy in boxing, shit that's going both ways, and people don't want to see it. So I'm going to call it out. People are complaining to me, and I'm just going to go over comments that I've had for the last maybe 3-4 weeks. And one of the biggest complaints I've had is people saying, Canelo fighting Triple G in the trilogy don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It's a dumb fight. It's trash. These guys shouldn't be fighting. And here's the problem I have with that. People is okay if Triple G fights Demetrius Andre right now. That'll be his biggest and best fight on his resume, and they would give him full credit for it. They would be okay if Triple G fought Jamal Charlo right now. It would be his biggest and best fight, and they would give him credit for it. Just because Canelo Alvarez and Triple G has a history over the first two fights, people look at suspect decisions. They were both controversial. Why wouldn't you give these guys a chance to end all the controversy and give them one last farewell fight? They're not keeping the same energy. If it's the biggest and best fight for these guys, why change the energy for Canelo Alvarez. It doesn't make sense. It sounds like some fanboy shit. That's what it sounds like, because fanboy shit is not keeping the same energy. The same energy is, if it's the best fight for these guys, why can't it be the same for Canelo? Why can't it turn around and say, oh, Canelo robbed Triple G in the first fight or second fight? People always complain about it. Well, let's stop complaining and let's go ahead and just settle this in a trilogy right now. And it's a big payday, and it's still a big fight. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's a great fucking point, because, you know, I wasn't even thinking about that. I wasn't even thinking about how people were, like, really criticizing, you know, the Canelo Triple G thing to try to use the Demetrius Andre, fucking, who
Charlo.
else? Charlo, you know, hypocrisy bullshit. Because to be realistic, Triple G's a bigger draw, a better fighter, a more accomplished fighter. And then that would be, you know, both of those guys together, they generate more money. I think, what did the first fight do? Like, what, 1 point, like, it did over 1 million pay-per-view buys, shit like that. So you can't really shit on Canelo for making that move, because I don't know one fight that didn't have a trilogy, bro. That you got to finish them trilogies out, man. And I mean, those two fighters, to be perfectly honest, I'd rather watch that than watch Demetrius Andre, to watch Jamal Charlo, because I already know what I'm getting, bro. I know what I'm getting. You know, this fight, honestly, they do need to finish that third fight. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
In two hands. And people also need to get off of the Wilder Fury 3. See, the thing is, people want to compare to what they say, well, we don't need to see the Wilder Fury 3. We don't need to see the Wilder Fury 3. Fury beat his ass in both fights, in my opinion. If you look at it, he clearly, there's really no controversy in the first fight. Everybody knows boxing, knows Fury won that fight, and he dominated the second. That didn't happen with Canelo Triple G. So since those are two different situations, a Canelo Triple G trilogy makes sense. But the Wilder Fury 3, Wilder really needs to step aside and let Undisputed happen.
Oh, yeah, let's be honest here. Y'all motherfuckers been campaigning to see Wilder come back for a third Fury fight. But you giving Canelo shit about fighting Triple G a third time? I mean, that's a fight really that's still 50-50. Wilder don't have a chance. The only people, like, I know what it is. Y'all some cruel motherfuckers. Y'all just want to see Wilder get his ass whooped.
They trying to get that boy hurt, man.
Yeah, man. They want to see him go out on that stretcher, man. Flashing lights.
Salute to D. Jefferson, and salute to a very special one, Actual Facts Boxing Santos.
Yeah.
Now look, D, what's up, my brother? How's the donut shop?
Sure, man. I'm off from the donut shop today, but they'll be all right. You know, they got us open. You know, the police officers still running around, so they need their coffee and donuts.
That's right. And that's right. And look, I'm gonna tell you this, D. Me and Mr. Two Hands, we talking that real on it. And we hurting fanboys' feelings today. One of the points we were making is, why is fanboys not keeping that same energy with Triple G, Canelo, as they are with everybody else? If you look at it like this, they would say that Triple G is the best fight for Demetrius Andre. He's the best fight for Jamal Charlo right now. But with Canelo Alvarez, the trilogy don't make sense when their first two fights had controversy. So how does that make sense? They got to keep the same energy. It's a good opportunity. And then a lot of fanboys are also saying that Triple G is a hype job. How is he a hype job? He's a former unified champion, and he's fought the best in his division. How is he a hype job? Couldn't you call Spence a hype job if that's your criteria?
That's a fact. I mean, look, that's a fact. You know how the double standards are, man. They hate Canelo. It's just another form of hate for Canelo. Anything to bash Canelo, no matter what this man do, they want to try to find a way to bash Canelo. But it's no secret that Triple G ducked every fight he could just to get to Canelo. So he decided to step up and get in there with Derevyanchenko. And what happened to him? He got beaten. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why he didn't want to do anything. This is why none of them want to do anything. They just want that payday, bro. And their fans just want to hate on Canelo.
And I'm going to say it like this, D. Triple G, you know, he did fight Canelo. He did fight Danny Jacobs. He did fight two very good, credible fights. And he also fought Derevyanchenko. And he gave Derevyanchenko some work as well. Let's not act like Derevyanchenko went in there and washed Triple G. That fight really could have went either way. Triple G is a hell of a competitor, but here's the thing. That didn't mean he didn't cherry pick, and that don't mean he didn't duck, because he clearly didn't want the Andre Ward smoke. He clearly didn't want that. He don't want to fight anybody. He want to stand in line at this point in his career and wait on the Canelo payday. I get that. But that's the same shit that Demetrius Andre's doing. That's the same shit that, Jamal Charlo's doing.
Charlo's doing, exactly. But I mean, like, all of these guys should have fought each other, man. That's the case. All of them. They should have fought each other. Forget all these pity pat fights they are taking. Jamal Charlo clearly is a big problem because he dumped that smoke from Andre. That's the fight that should have happened. And then the winner would have deserved the fight easily. They would have warranted. Even 4-star wants to fight with Canelo. But they don't want to do it.
It's the era of the fucking divas, man. These boys don't want to mix it up. That's the problem. I mean, if you look all around the landscape, so 160, you got Demetrius Andre. He trying to call out niggas that's just got deaf ears. They don't want to fight at all. You know what I mean? Like, realistically. And I mean, he's not looking at the other opportunities that are available to him. You got Jamal Charlo that's just running around getting drunk on his Adrian Broner World Tour. You know what I mean? Choker chain chilling. Like, this fool ain't doing a damn thing. So, I mean, like, Triple G, he trying to get the biggest and best fight possible. I mean, this old motherfucker, I mean, like, let's think about it here. We all know everybody trying to jump on Triple G right now because he dead meat. The motherfucker, I got, inside, the motherfucker couldn't even make it through the snack program, man. They had to kick his ass out of snack.
Two hands. I can't even do this to you. Smarty Jones just commented and stated that Mike Tyson couldn't carry Deontay Wilder's jockstrap.
Oh my God! Another one of these clowns, man. Are you kidding me?
Is he 12?
Right. I mean, because he got if he's not 12, he got the brain of a 12-year-old saying something stupid like that. Let me tell you,
Justin.
I don't know. It might be Justin, but here's the problem with these idiotic Deontay Wilder fans. First and foremost, let's get something clear. He has no chance in the third fight either. And Mike Tyson would have knocked him out much faster than Tyson Fury did. Deontay Wilder wouldn't have had a clue what to do with a Mike Tyson. With the head movement, the body work, the power, the elite power, and both heads. He would have destroyed Deontay Wilder. So you guys need to stop this, man.
And hold on. He wouldn't have made it through 2 minutes with Mike Tyson, man. I promise you that. Wilder wouldn't have made it through a minute and a half, to be perfectly honest. He would have got smacked, knocked out, hitting his fucking ribs, shit cracked, fucking been bleeding, fucking pissing blood, and then cracked on his fucking jaw, and he would have went straight to sleep in about 15 to 30 seconds. I promise you that.
And look, Two Hands, this is the problem I got is people don't keep that same energy. And what I mean by that is people try to say to me, and I've had countless videos where I had to try to clear this up, and nobody's fucking paying attention. They keep saying that Anthony Joshua has a weak chin. That's why everybody beats him. That's what they feel. But Deontay Wilder getting dropped by Harold Sconiers is not weak. Tyson Fury getting dropped by, Steve Cunningham is not weak. But you're going to say Anthony Joshua, who got dropped by Klitschko, a Hall of Famer, Andy Ruiz, a former unified champion. These guys are quality fighters. So, in the heavyweight division, this shit can happen to anybody. But to act like this guy has a weak chin because he got dropped by very good fighters, it doesn't make sense.
Because they full on haters. They full on haters. They not acknowledge. See, that's the problem. See, now they going back before. Remember when Andy Ruiz won that fight? Everybody thought Andy Ruiz was the best thing on the strip. Couldn't nobody beat him. Thought he's the best fucking heavyweight in the world. Talked all this shit about his speed, ability to go to the body. There's no way Anthony Joshua can beat nobody like that. Andy Ruiz, the best heavyweight in the world. All that bullshit. Same shit they doing with fucking Tyson Fury right now. So it's like, I don't expect nothing less from these dudes, man. Because to be perfectly honest, y'all thought all of this stuff about these heavyweights. But then as soon as Tyson Fury win, you know what I mean? He's the most dominant thing you've ever seen in the world. And I like Tyson Fury. Everybody knows I like Tyson Fury. The thing is, Y'all just not being realistic about everybody's skill set down the middle. I keep telling these motherfuckers, dog, it's okay to be a fan of somebody and critique them at the same time. And it's all right to not be a fan of another fighter, but then acknowledge his skills and capabilities, man.
Hold on, two hands. And Cali26 clapped back at you, and he said, how you just going to say Wilder doesn't have a chance? Now, that's some fanboy shit.
First off, I'm the one that said that.
Man, look, man. Wilder need to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how to find this front door, man. Come out the house, get some vitamin D, get some goddamn sunlight. He been hiding in the fucking dark for too long, man. I don't know what the fuck you talking about right now, man. Wilder don't even got a fucking chance at all, man. What the hell is Wilder going to do, man? What is he going to do, man? What is he going to do? He going to come in there, he going to throw that same lame-ass 1-2, get struck upside his head again with Tyson Fury's 1-2, lead left hand, pushing him all in the mouth, getting thrown in the corner, beating his face every time he hit him, man. You hearing chain sound effects like this man is head a slot machine. Come on, bro. Stop it, man.
Hold on. My brother.
You know what? Oh, I was just going to say, you know what the problem is? Whoever put that comment out there, he must have about 5 George Foreman grills in his house. You know why? Because he believed it. He believed in George Foreman's sales pitch. George Foreman's a salesman. It ain't a damn thing George Foreman's going to be able to show Wilder what he's going to be able to do. But go in that ring and get his ass beat again. You with the George Foreman hope. George Foreman fooled him once and he fooling him again. That's why you got 5 George Foreman grills in his house. 5 of them.
This is what it is, man.
I got a question for you guys. Monster says, do you think Wilder is a Hall of Fame, even if he never fights again at this point? Is he a Hall of Fame fighter right now? Deontay Wilder. He's only won 1 belt, and he's beat no elite opponent. Is he Hall of Fame?
He'll be on the ballot.
Absolutely.
He'll definitely get in.
Absolutely. Let me tell you. On the ballot. Absolutely. He's a Hall of Famer at fucking Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. That motherfucker ain't no Hall of Fame or no Hall of Fame ballot, man.
Yeah, they'll put him on the ballot. He won't win. I doubt he'll win because of who he'll be against at the time that he'll probably go on the ballot. But he'll probably go on the ballot.
Win. That man gonna go down as the worst heavyweight ever, bro. Like, that nigga ain't even know Mike Weaver.
And hold up, and let's get on another fighter that's always hated on, because you know what? I feel like I gotta do it. Dillian Whyte's always getting hate. And, you know, I'm not even a Dillian Whyte fan, but I will tell you this. I like Dillian Whyte's heart. I like his work ethic. And I don't want anybody talking about Dillian. Hold on. Before I even get to that, Smarty Jones said IBFP has turned into an LDBC channel with timeouts to prove it. First of all, idiot, I haven't timed anybody out. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll tell you what I'll do. So since you're smart, right? I'm going to drop that link for you right now. We don't even have to debate. I'm going to drop that link. You get on here and speak your piece like a man. Speak your piece like a man. Drop the link. Because you got time to type me a paragraph. This is a test right here. You go ahead and step in. Because if I needed to block you or time you out, why would I drop you the link, stupid? Why would I let you come in? If a moderator stopped you or timed you out, it's simply because you said some dumbass casual fanboy discussions for idiocy. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's a moron. That means you said something really stupid and you needed to understand I cannot do that. It's like when a child put his hand on the stove and burn it. Oh, I don't need to do that again because that doesn't feel good. Come on now.
You idiot.
You idiot. Like Dave Jefferson would say. You idiot. And look, and the only thing I'm going to say about this Dillian Whyte thing is this. Everybody got a lot of hate for Dillian Whyte, and I understand that Dillian Whyte doesn't have this type of incredible power to knock a guy out in one shot. I understand that, and I also understand that Dillian Whyte is not the most flashy guy in the ring, but there is one thing that Dillian Whyte does. He puts in a lot of hard work, and he goes to work. The dude has won, 10, 11 fights in a row since losing to AJ? You got to commend that shit. You got to say that Dillian Whyte wanted the Fury smoke. Fury turned it down. He wanted the Wilder smoke. Wilder turned it down. He wanted the Ruiz smoke. Ruiz turned it down. So don't tell me that this dude ain't out here trying to put in that work to prove himself. But everybody says he has no chance. They should know Dillian Whyte. Whether you like him or not, at least show him some respect.
Facts.
I mean, Dillian Whyte is a top heavyweight, man. We got to realize that. I mean, Dillian Whyte was literally, you know what I mean, just like a minute away from a different outcome changing that fight. If he would have, he could have changed the outcome of that Anthony Joshua fight with that shot, man. Like he had the opportunity of winning that fight. People need to realize that he hit Anthony Joshua, had him in trouble, had him wobbled out in the fight. You know what I mean? So it just shows that Dillian Whyte ain't afraid to fight nobody. And if you look at his recent track record, bro, with Oscar Rivas and shit like that, the things he's been doing, man, he's a dog, bro. And obviously he must be a problem because everybody's been avoiding him. We already know the track record of how many people been avoiding this guy, man. I mean, so to try to deny that shit, you got to be a stupid motherfucker, man, because everybody know Dillian Whyte want all of the smoke. Niggas is denying $7 million, $9 million, $5 million to fight this motherfucker. Like, come on, bro. To do what? To do what? To fight fucking dudes with the last name of a nipple? Like, come on, fam. Like, what is going on out here? Chris got a fight a 40-year-old nipple.
Dillian Whyte.
He fighting a 40-year-old nipple out that joint, man. What is wrong with Andy Ruiz?
Look, Dillian Whyte, Andy Ruiz, you know, I would accept the argument before, you know, for Andy Ruiz fans that will argue, you know, in the top 5, who goes Dillian Whyte or Andy Ruiz, you know what I mean? But after Andy Ruiz ducked him, is there any question? You got to put Dillian Whyte. It's like it's solid because he ducked him.
Exactly. And 443 Flip says, did Whyte pop positive for a PEDS test? In the past, he did, but so did Tyson Fury. But if you look at it like this, and it's funny that people want to talk recently and say, oh, he just popped for PEDS. The dude was cleared by VADA. He was cleared by VADA. There's nothing else. If VADA cleared you, what else are we talking about? Let's just leave that alone because there's nothing else to talk about. If VADA clears you, that's it. That's it. I mean, am I wrong on that, fellas, or is that it?
Facts.
Nah, not at all. And then there are other stipulations on, you know, the one test, the PED case that he had a few years prior to that. Like, that shit was like, it wasn't even like nothing real serious like that. So, I mean, people, you know what I mean, they just hear PEDs and they automatically think it's just some real fast shit or whatever. But I heard it was like, it wasn't even that major. I forgot what it was, though, so I can't say off the top.
All of those
he ain't no cheater, man. He ain't no fucking cheater, man. He beating niggas' ass, man. Your man ducked him. You know what I'm saying? The skid mark ducked him. The fat boy ducked him. Like, let's be serious. Andy Ruiz ducked him, man. These niggas is about to go in there and look like two Vaselined up PBC slobs in the middle of the ring, man.
Even Tyson Fury does that work, man. Tyson Fury even does that work. He ain't getting a fight with him. He ain't signed a contract. So
look, and I think Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. But the thing about Andy Ruiz, even before he fought AJ, and D can vouch for this, when people were saying, "Oh, AJ's fighting a bum" or this or that, I kept telling people, Andy Ruiz is a legitimate fighter. The dude can fight. If he comes right, he can fight. But here's the thing about it, Andy Pizza Patron Ruiz. Andy Pizza Patron Ruiz just can't let the food go down. Like, dude, it looked like every time he come out to the ring or do an interview, it look like he's greased up in butter. Look, turn around and say no to food for 10 minutes. Train and get yourself right so you can step in and compete with the best. Because if Andy Ruiz is at his best, he can give a lot of guys a problem. But here's the problem with Ruiz. He needs to leave the if Andy Ruiz is really a guy that want all this smoke, then he needs to leave the PBC. Because it's hard for me to take any fighter serious that's with the PBC. Because they always say, oh, these fights will happen, that will happen. But these guys are not taking the fights. These fights are getting destroyed because dudes are out here losing. Wilder had to get knocked out by Tyson Fury. And threw 120 million opportunity, and you threw away the biggest fight that everybody was clamoring for in boxing. There was no fight bigger than AJ Wilder. Period. No fight bigger than that until Wilder got knocked out.
That joint would have been a fucking world stop. That would have been a world stopper right there. Like, that joint, everybody would have locked in and tuned in and paid for that fucking fight. Everybody would have tried to pay for a ticket. Motherfuckers would have tried to pay extra to get somebody else's fucking extra ticket. Like, so it was one of them fights that people fucked up. And if you look at just the recent course of 2019 and boxing and shit like that, how many fucking fights that fighters done fucked up as far as unifications, undisputed matches. Man, these dudes just fucking up fights left and right, bro. Putting them on standstill, talking about you gotta let them shits bubble, and then they get their ass whipped. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I don't understand, bro. Like, after Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, that first fight, bro, do you see how the energy has changed for that man? And I'm not talking about in Ruiz. I'm talking about in the fans, bro. Like, Ruiz was the hottest thing smoking, bro. I had people tell me now Tyson Fury won't be able to handle Andy Ruiz because, you know, what Andy Ruiz did to Joshua, Andy Ruiz did that to Joshua. You know, Andy Ruiz he's a different animal. Now all of a sudden, you don't even hear all that about Andy Ruiz. You don't even hear all that about Andy Ruiz. Everything these fans can do to discredit Anthony Joshua's win to get his belts back, they're gonna do that, bro. And I see that they're doing it with it's like a lot of this comes from Anthony Joshua haters. Like I told Nuke, I don't know when we was communicating that, Nuke, but I was telling Nuke, it's a whole lot of Fury fans popping up. You know what I mean? Because I've been a Fury fan, but it's a whole lot of Fury fans popping up that weren't there before. You know what I mean? And it's all surrounding Anthony Joshua hate, bro. It's the Joshua hate, bro. Like, you gotta respect that man, Joshua, bro.
Man, that's bigger than that, man. These niggas just ride whatever wave at that moment, man. If it's a fight that seems big enough to them to where they seem like, dude, is changing the landscape or something, man. It's just like when a team win the Super Bowl next year, that's somebody's favorite team. You know what I mean? You ain't never you ain't never a fan of the damn Chiefs, but now you know what I'm saying. You got a Patrick Mahomes jersey in your fucking drawer, like it's that type of shit.
Hold on, and I gotta expose a fanboy. This is what we do. And look, Smarty Jones. I don't know why they call you Smarty Jones because you sound real stupid. But I'll tell you what I'll do for you. No wonder you got time out for saying casual shit. If you would like, I'll drop another link for you. He said, LOL at Tyson Fury, Doug Dillian Whyte, LOL. This is the Dillian Whyte disrespect that I'm talking about. Clearly, Tyson Fury agreed to fight Dillian Whyte under one condition. I think that was to fight for the WBC Mayan belt or some dumb shit like that. And that's what he wanted to fight. And then he came back and said, no, I don't want to fight Dillian Whyte. He's a bum. That's a duck.
Nah,
you
they were
agreed.
Supposed to fight for the WBC Diamond Belt. He said he would have fought Tyson. He would have fought fucking Dillian Whyte for the WBC Diamond Belt.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and said he wouldn't do the shit.
And then he ended up fighting Otto Wallin after that, and then went into the Wilder fight. So my thing is, if it was really about that, look, I'm not mad at Fury for saying, look, I don't want to take a risky fight against Whyte, and I got Wilder on the back end. So I'm not going to criticize him for that because I understand that Wilder fight on the back end, and Whyte is a risky fight. My only thing is this. Don't act like he didn't agree to the fight and then go back on it. He said he would take the fight. Nobody made him say that shit. He said it. But if it was anybody else, if Whyte did that, they would call him the biggest coward this side of the world.
But see, we can't leave out this part of that shit too. It's kind of fucked up that they try to make this man jump through double eliminators with fucking Luis Ortiz and then have this man and then try to say when Tyson Fury stands up all of a sudden and say, hey, I'll fight Tyson Fury for the fucking diamond belt. Oh, that's more than acceptable. But at the same time, you got Dominic fucking Brazil who fucking fought, who came off a fucking sorry ass Ndongo win, like, and y'all just let that man jump that man from like number what? He was like number 3 or number 6 in the WBC. And fight Wilder, like what the fuck?
Yeah, bro, that's just crazy, dog. I mean, it's the double standards, bro. Tyson Fury, look, I'm a Tyson Fury fan, and he definitely ducked that smoke. That's the type of stuff that is basically like the same thing Jamal Charlo did. He talked about the fight, like, yeah, I asked to fight out there, and then you turn around and you don't take the fight. It's the same fucking thing. And y'all will sit up here easily and say that Jamal Charlo ducked Andre. So Tyson Fury ducked Dillian Whyte.
And look, and we got something, you know, and I would never hate to call a guy a coward, especially a guy that steps in the ring and boxes and all that. But, you know, I'm going to go ahead and do it because I simply don't give a fuck. So I'm going to say it this. this is the new segment of the IBFP where we call guys the coward of the month. And the coward of the month for me has to be Jamal Tune-Up Charlo, Jamal Paper Champ Charlo. He's probably the most disappointing fighter that I can think of. This is the type of dude that fought nobody at 160, and you fought two guys moving up from 154 to 160. This is the Jamal Charlo who turns down $7+ million to fight a guy in Demetrius Andre. That is probably the most meaningful fight in the middleweight division right now. Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andre. It's a prove-it fight for both guys. It's a unification fight, and that fight leads to Canelo. Why are these guys not making that fight? I understand that Demetrius Andre wanted, Charlo don't. He's the coward of the week. And not only that, this guy turned down the Canelo fight last year. There's no defending Jamal Charlo at this point. Jamal Charlo, please slap yourself.
And look, let me add on to that. I'm going to piggyback off that because somehow it seems that he found a way to weasel his way out of this Eubanks fight. So now you won't fight Andre. You won't fight Canelo. You weasel your way out of the Eubanks fight. What you going to do, Charlo? He got to be coward. I mean, he got to be coward.
I knew that pussy wasn't trying to fight. I knew that pussy wasn't going to fight Eubanks. I knew that pussy wasn't going to fight him. That nigga 100% feline fucking pussy, man.
Yeah, bro. Good pick, Luke. Good pick. I second that motion.
Look, it's just that, look, think about it. The guy's ducking multiple fighters. You call out Canelo and say, this is the fight you want more than anything. Then you turn down the fight. You turn down the Andrade fight. So what fight are you wanting to take? What fucking fight do you want to take? This is what I'm talking about. It doesn't make any sense. This guy's the absolute coward of the month. Cali 26, slap yourself. He said, what is Crawford going to do? Crawford says he wants Errol Spence or Manny Pacquiao. He wants the two champions in the division. If he cannot get either one of them, then he would consider Kell Brook, because we already know he can't consider, Danny Garcia. Danny don't want it. Now, the one person that, Terence Crawford should be considering is Sean Porter. I got to keep the same energy with Terence Crawford I keep with everybody else. I'm a Terence Crawford guy. I like Terence Crawford, but I got to be real about it. He needs to look to fight Porter. Porter makes more sense than Kell Brook to me personally. I would like that better. I mean, what do you guys think?
Man, you want to know what? Fuck all that. Fuck that. Man, Sean Porter don't get no conversation. At the damn Tyson Fury fight, during Tyson Fury Wilder 2 fight week, that bitch ass nigga jumped on the phone and said the only fucking fights is in his plans is Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao, and who else was it? I think that was it. It was Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao, and Errol Spence. That was it.
So Two Hands just aired him out. So Sean Porter was out here low-key clout chasing. Because he was talking about the other day saying, he'd be open to a Crawford fight. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what happens when guys get exposed. See, he really never wanted the Bud Crawford fight. So now the fact that Bud is only looking at Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence, and a possible Kell Brook, you can't even blame him if he fight Brook. People are going to complain, but you can't complain at that point. I don't know. What do you think, D?
I tell you one thing, man. That's the best fight smoking that Crawford can lay his hands on. But who was it, Cali 26 to ask this question?
Yeah.
Let me give him the classic phrase, you idiot. Because the question should really be, what are these other guys going to do? I'm sick and tired of people asking the question, what is Crawford going to do? What the fuck does Crawford have to do? Does he have to sell his soul to get a fight with these motherfuckers?
I'm going to tell you
what is Crawford going to do? What are they going to do? All they got to do is step up and sign a contract. Danny Garcia turned down the contract. Errol Spence saying he's going to fight everybody. This before the accident. He got up there and he didn't mention Crawford's name. So what are they going to do? What are those other guys going to do? Forget about what Crawford going to do. Take that out your mind. You idiot.
I'm going to tell y'all what, man. I'm about to break y'all motherfucking hearts, man. Motherfuckers got to get off this Sean Porter goddamn Terence Crawford shit. That shit is not a fucking good-ass fight, man. Y'all think it's a good fight, man. Sean Porter is not that great of a fucking fighter. You're going to go in there. You're going to see Terence Crawford beat him and stop him, and then y'all going to be shocked as fuck, and y'all going to say that shit was easy. He just came off a loss to Errol Spence. He don't have no belts. It makes absolutely no sense. The fight he should make is where your Denny is Ugas. That make more sense. I said he beat Sean Porter for real. So at the end of the day, if he can't get nobody, he already said the other day he would fuck Kell Brook all the way up. Told him that to his face. Told him he was straight fuck him up. So I think that probably going to be the fight if these other dudes don't want to step up. Man, Errol Spence out here talking about he would stop him, he'd knock him out if the money right behind it. What type of money is you talking about? You got to negotiate if you want to talk money. Now, if they can get that skid mark, doodle face nigga Deontay Wilder fucking $20 million and some pay-per-view upside, and for doing absolutely nothing in the sport of boxing, I'm sure they can get you something, Errol Spence, and you know what I'm saying, for fighting Terence Crawford. Let's be serious here, man. You know what I mean? It's only a couple divisions people like to see to bring them out, man. It's, you know what I'm saying, 147 up to that 168 for real, and that heavyweight division, bro. Like them popular divisions. So come on, bro.
Now, I noticed something about all of this is that, you know, people always like to come to me and tell me, you know, IBFP, Canelo it gets favoritism by the WBC. The WBC works for Canelo. They're on Canelo's payroll. Canelo's a cheater. The WBC will do anything to satisfy Canelo. But they don't keep that same energy when it comes to Errol Spence, because Errol Spence should be fighting Yordenis Ugas. He should be fighting Ugas next. Ugas earned that spot. He fought a title eliminator against Omar Figueroa. He should be next for Errol Spence Jr. if it's not a unification. That should be next. And then don't forget the WBC protected Deontay Wilder away from Dillian Whyte for the longest amount of time. Let's stop acting like this shit don't make a difference. Let's stop acting like they only doing favors for one guy or this guy. The WBC is fucking corrupt all the way around the board.
Right, so Nuke, we got to say the same shit about Errol Spence. So basically they pulled, you know what I'm saying, so they gave Errol Spence the Deontay Wilder treatment by moving Ugas, you know what I'm saying, from the #1 spot and pushing Danny Garcia there, considering, you know, Ugas won the WBC title eliminator. Because I definitely, you know what I'm saying, I definitely recall, you know what I mean, Ugas beating Omar Figueroa ass for 12 straight rounds. Man, they making that motherfucker, having that nigga daddy out there looking sick as hell. Like, I mean, let's... Let's be serious here, man. Like, look, bro, and then that's probably, to me, Yordenis Ugas is one of the top fighters at the 147 division. He is one of my favorite fighters at that weight, and he's one of the most avoided fighters because, man, people know what he'll do to him, man. These dudes, man, Errol Spence ain't trying to fight that, man. He gonna beat Errol up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know, man, they know that shit, man. Errol Spence ain't what people say he is. A lot of these dudes ain't what they say they is. That's why it's a lot of avoidance going on out here. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
Dig, you want to speak on that real quick, or you want me to jump in?
Well, yeah, I do. And touch on something that you said. Look, man, let's get one thing clear. Mauricio Suleiman is as crooked as they come. He should be in political, like government politics. That's how crooked this guy is. We already know that the WBC is pure trash, bro. They are top of the boxing world, as Luke say, garbage truck juice. You understand what I'm saying? So look, when it comes to the WBC, especially their protection over the PBC, man, anything, sky's the limit. Anything. You gotta believe it. You just gotta believe it, bro.
That's it. And look, I'm going to put it like this. These guys try to create a narrative for fighters they don't like. These guys try to create a narrative. And, you know, the White hate, the AJ hate, the Canelo hate. Look, we're just going based off of facts, things that can be proven, things that are tangible, that are right in front of you, documented proof. We're not making up no shit. We're not going back and forth. You know, it's Cali 26 and Smarty Jones. These are the guys that are saying these idiotic things. The one thing I will say, Smarty Jones, is I understand Charlo and Derevyanchenko needs to fight. Derevyanchenko's #1 mandatory in the WBC for Jamal Charlo. But is the WBC actually going to mandate the fight, even though he's #1? That's the real question. Is Al Heyman going to say, don't mandate that shit yet, or mandate it? That's really the big question. Are they going to make that fight? Because Charlo has fought no one. He needs a fight for real. That's why he's the biggest coward in boxing right now. Like, I don't see another guy in boxing being as scared as this dude to take one fucking fight.
Like I said, Wilder 2.0, bro. Wilder 2.0. Every time a little bit of pressure get on him, he fucking touch that magical choker chain he got and disappear out of fucking danger, man. He don't fucking want no smoke, man. That nigga, like, Charlo is the biggest disappointment, bro, and I don't understand how they let these dudes slide, man. They ain't bringing no cash to the table, man. They're not even fighting nobody. I mean, if you look at the dudes he fighting, man, they out of their weight element so bad. They come up that joint looking like malnourished Somalian children, bro. Like,
yeah, man. I don't know, man. Look, I can't wait. This is a little bit off topic, but it's kind of disappointing, especially for the sport of boxing. But the Disney, I guess they sit at the top of the board for the UFC owners or whatever. They shut it down, bro. So Dana White's plans have been shut down. They're not going to have UFC 249, which is kind of disappointing because that could have been another avenue for boxing. So, but that's not going to happen. Just wanted to put that out there.
Look, I think that my only thing about all this, man, and you know, you got Paul Cook says Joshua does have a weak chin. Paul Cook, how about you tell me how Joshua has a weak chin? Come on, Paul Cook. See, this is what I hate is a guy come on here and say some casual shit and then can't back it up.
Right.
Paul Cook, does Fury have a weak chin? Does Wilder have a weak chin?
I'm about to say, Wilder got the weakest chin and Fury got a weak chin then too.
Come on now, you got to keep that same energy for everybody. Paul, you about to get cooked saying some casual shit like that. Come on, Paul. Paul, put your nose ring in and your choker chain on and let's go. See, that's the problem with these guys. They come on here and say some casual shit. And here's the worst part, is they're getting it all from these biased channels or biased media, and then they come back to me and recite this bullshit and talk to me like I'm wrong. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm like, what are we talking about? We got to understand what a real chin is. Ruiz got a very good quality chin. He has the quality chin. He took AJ's shots. He took a beating from AJ in that second fight. I give Ruiz the credit of having a good chin, but don't forget, he was dropped by AJ too. So let's let that play.
Yeah, that motherfucker, when AJ dropped his ass, that motherfucker eyes lit up like.
For real?
That motherfucker saw 2 years into the future, saw all sorts of new iPhone technology. That nigga, he was so shocked about that joint. He said, "Oh shit!" He said, "That was fast."
And hold up. And Smarty Jones says Ruiz took AJ flush like it was nothing. Did he take that one shot in the first fight like it was nothing? Because he was on his back. He landed right on his butt. I'm sorry, he landed right on his butt, and he was looking at seeing pizza rolls in the sky.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how stupid. You need to change your name to Stupid Jones, because you're not smart at all, bro. You're just stupid. Okay, let me tell you something. Andy Ruiz did the smart thing. He sat down. A lot of fighters try to get up, but their legs not under them. They're not ready to get up. And if he had to sit down, you idiot, that means he was buzzed the fuck out of his mind. But he was smart enough to sit down and take his time before he jumped right up. But see, an idiot like you'd have jumped right up and got your ass knocked out because you're stupid.
Bruh, I'm telling you, when you get sat on your ass like that, bro, he felt his bowels move down a couple inches, bro. He farted and everything. That nigga got struck.
But here's the problem. Here's what these guys are missing. How does Andy Ruiz having a good, tough chin have anything to do with Anthony Joshua having a weak one? These guys are not answering the question. See, you didn't even come in here and answer the question. See, they like to navigate away from the topic and talk about some other shit. They like to say something dumb and walk away from it. Come on, now what are we talking about? Joshua
said he got knocked down because he didn't see the punch. Well, clearly he didn't see the punch. The fuck?
Now, Paul Cook says Joshua ran from an unfit, overweight Ruiz in the second fight. So if you think what Anthony Joshua did was running, then you obviously don't know shit about boxing. Anthony Joshua was putting a beat down on Andy Ruiz Jr. It's not Anthony Joshua's fault that Ruiz has poor footwork. It's not his fault that he knows how to navigate the ring and how to land shot after shot on Ruiz, because he was hitting him like a piñata. I was waiting for the candy to come out.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to tell you, bro. That man was leaking all sorts of cherry Kool-Aid out the side of his face, bro. Like he was drinking that, he was tasting that shit off his glove and everything when he was getting thirsty in the middle of the ring. Like, yo, Andy Ruiz, like, I don't see how you can hold Joshua accountable for this motherfucker coming in the ring overweight and making, you know what I'm saying, a lackluster showing of himself. And you're gonna hold, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna hold Joshua accountable for that. I think you sound kind of stupid for trying to say something like that. Joshua went out there and showed that he can adjust. He can box masterful off the back foot, working the flick jab and the power jab, extending his range and showing that he can pull his punches, and you know what I'm saying, and not have to just shoot with power and exhaust his, you know what I mean, exhaust his stamina and his arm strength. So, you know, and showed that his power carries over to 12 rounds. You know, you ignored all of the things that he did well, you know, exercising footwork and being able to do the things he did to adjust and win against a pressure fighter, and you're the taller guy. You're supposed to work off of the back foot, working from the jab, staying long, using the 1-2, staying lead, whatever hand you use in opposite position your footwork. So I don't want to hear no bullshit about Anthony Joshua didn't do what he was Anthony Joshua ran. No, he did what he was supposed to do, because I don't recall, you know, there's several fighters like, you know, let's talk about Errol Spence here. Errol Spence didn't knock out fucking Mikey Garcia, but y'all motherfuckers called that beautiful boxing, right?
Right.
And here's the thing. Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz are in the same weight class. This is where they belong. Mikey moved up in weight and they called it beautiful boxing. He was supposed to knock him out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I bet the
on a $75 pay-per-view, you're fighting a guy from 2 weight classes before you out of a high guard. What kind of weak shit is that? And you supposed to be the boogeyman. You supposed to be the bad man. You supposed to be the guy with the biggest and strongest shots at the welterweight division. What kind of shit is that? See, that's the problem with these dudes. They up here defending stupid positions. It doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm saying. See, that's the shit that fucks niggas up right there when you bring that type of shit to their attention. Let's be serious here. Let's be serious. Y'all talking that shit about Anthony Joshua. You talking about a heavyweight, same weight class fighting another guy that y'all consider a top heavyweight who was the unified champion at the time, who did happen to take the belts from him regardless of whether Anthony Joshua knocked him down first or not. Y'all thought this man was the greatest fucking thing in the world, and everybody said Joshua couldn't win. He showed that he could box with skill. Everybody said he was robotic. He's saying he can't box. You know, they saying he can't work footwork. They saying that's just impossible for him to do. So all of the things you said he couldn't do, he went out and proved it. Now we talking about Errol Spence here, a guy that's fucking shouldn't even be at 147 pounds, who fought Michael Garcia, a natural 135-pound fucking guy, comes up to 147, and you box this man for 12 rounds, and y'all talking about it's the sweet science, but call this man the hardest fucking puncher at 147 in the dog of the division. Ooh. If he's dog of the division, that motherfucker is straight miniature pincher.
What's up, Charles D? What's up, my brother?
Charles D in the building. What's up, Charles D?
Ain't shit. I just dropped a little comment in the chat real quick. I was about to slide off until I saw the shit say you on.
No, speak on it, Charles. I know you had something to say about this Ruiz Chin or some shit like that.
Nah, because they talk about AJ's performance was trash, but let that be Wilder coming off that bullshit draw with Fury, and he come back and he boxed Fury ears off. You know how much shit you would have had to endure hearing that shit? Them niggas would have said shit about that was trash, or he ran. Them niggas would have gave that nigga God status.
They would have said he's the heavyweight Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, he's the 200-pound Floyd. Did you see that shit?
I'm really starting to think all the niggas that's Wilder fans was them extra weird niggas in school, young. Them niggas that wore the weird pants, did you know what I'm saying? That did the weird, played the weird games with the weird activities and shit. Just was just the weird niggas. Like they it just seemed like Wilder fans, like they all weird. Like look at the dudes who talk about him, like on YouTube. They're a bunch of weirdos, man. Like, you know what I mean? 78 Sports look like he sucked his thumb over there. Like
Listen, these niggas, Suicide Watch was real. As soon as he lost, I was like, oh shit, Suicide Watch.
Yeah. Look, I mean, look, Bonnie Brown, he got on his live and admitted to the whole damn 22 people that was watching. I'm hurt, man. I'm really hurt by that, man. That one hurt me, man. I could barely sleep at night. You know, this is how these cats was feeling about this dude losing. Like, he immediately got up there. He immediately got up there and admit that he was that hurt. Like, dog, it's not your best friend that died. The man lost a fight, bro.
Wait a minute. Nigga D said, this one hurt, man. I couldn't sleep. Niggas is losing sleep.
I losing sleep over this fight, bro. I'm like, wow, y'all didn't see this coming?
Wait a minute.
Blind?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Her face say the same kind of goofy shit.
Hold on. You telling me somebody was losing sleep over the fact that Deontay Wilder got destroyed, and they must have not have watched all them other fights showing that he was losing rounds to Gerald Washington and all these other tomato cans, and so it was a shock that he was going to get outboxed by Tyson Fury again,
bro. And the real problem is that these are not my words; these are his own on his own fucking video or his own live stream.
Oh God, my cheekbones hurt, nigga.
Salute to Red Glove Militant. Look, man, these dudes got to be smoking something to believe that they really thought Deontay Wilder was the second coming of everything. They got this dude ball so far in their mouth they can't think straight, bro. I mean, they need to take his balls out their mouth and come back to reality. That's the problem.
My nigga, I picked Wilder to win the
Deontay
rematch.
Wilder was the second coming. It was a second coming. They remixed that ass with him.
But you don't count, bro. You not like them. You got sense in your head, you know.
Oh God, this nigga said I'm losing sleep. Let Errol Spence lose. These niggas just gonna fold. That's it. It's over.
Them niggas going belly up, man. Fucking you know what I'm saying? As soon as Wilder fell, fucking Javante Wilder, man. I mean Javante Davis, man. He started stressing real hard, went into fucking OD and started eating off all the fucking hot dogs at Sonic. Motherfucker, you know when that nigga stressed out, he eat extra hot dogs and drink extra slushies and shit.
You know, hot dogs and shit. Hot dogs with the works, nigga. All the way. Coleslaw, chili, all that shit.
Sauerkraut. Let me make it New York style.
Fat bastard.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. After the after the fight with Jamal Charlo and I think it's Matt Korobov. After that fight, Boxing Ego blocked me on Twitter. And here's my thing: I never even seen or spoke to the dude, and he blocked me on Twitter. A good guy had to be on suicide watch after the Deontay Wilder fight. Think about it like this: this dude turned around and said this dude was better than Canelo, and he's a bigger star than Canelo. He's a face of boxing. A man with no fucking skills, no skill. So you don't support a one-trick pony. These guys got to be pandering. This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in life. These dudes is trash.
Look, man, look, man, Fury beat that boy ass so bad. They want Tyson Fury to give him back the belt. They want the game commission to give him 2 wins. They like, look, Fury whooped his ass so bad. We want 2 wins, and we want him to get a belt back. We don't even want to fight him the 3rd time.
What make it worse, Mr. Two Hands, is they want to give him the belt back from the glove to the first goddamn fight. Not the fight he got his ass whooped in. The first fight.
Yeah, man. It's going up from the first jump.
Yeah, from the first second.
I was like, same color gloves, nigga. That's the first fight.
I'm like, man, y'all let him beat his ass. He licked him. He threw him on the ground. He smacked him up.
No, Fury is savage, man. Fury said, I'm going to knock him out. I want to taste his blood. I mean, goddamn if that man ain't taste his blood and knock his ass out.
Nigga, he knocked him down on a body shot. It looked like a nigga kicked his. You know how somebody get leg swept? Just kick both.
Man, look, man.
Both his legs from underneath his goddamn feet.
Fury was starting to look like, you know what I'm saying, a bloody wash rag in that joint because he was beating blood out of Wilder like shit. Like that nigga was getting bludgeoned. I mean, blood splatters on his head, shoulders, face, everything. He's smiling in blood. Like he was dogging that man, young Wilder in that joint. He drooling blood from his cheek, eyes poking out his head like Ren and Stimpy. Like he was looking crazy in that joint.
Oh, hold on. And everybody, I think this is about the hour and a minute mark. So I want anybody that's listening to this that knows Fred from Barbershop Conversations. And we're about an hour and a minute in. So have him come to this exact time in the live stream on the replay. And I don't normally do this. I don't normally offer a lot of invitations. But I'm going to offer an invitation for Fred from the Barbershop Conversation. Come on, talk to me, because I got to see what you saw in this whole time. I really want to talk to this guy because this guy got to be the biggest idiot I've ever seen. And I would love for this dude to come in here and speak to the landlord. Please come in here. Please do it. And I promise, as long as you don't say nothing disrespectful, I won't slap you like Kenny Porter did. I won't do that to you. I won't do nothing disrespectful.
Nigga, everybody was in disbelief about the ass whooping this nigga took. This nigga was celebrating the entrance. He totally ignored the ass whooping that just took place. That nigga threw some bullshit up like that was the most epic entrance to the wrestling. Nigga, that was the most epic ass whooping I've ever seen in the heavyweight division in a long time. Nigga, let's get to the point.
And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Fury entrance was better. Period. Fury entrance was better. He had the broads bringing him in. He's sitting on the throne. He got the goddamn fall going. You know what I mean? Fuck that. Fury entrance was better.
Look, I was
on the fight.
That nigga Fury was smarter, nigga. If Wilder knew that suit was that heavy, he'd have had niggas carry him in too, so you can't blame his fucking legs.
Exactly.
Wilder's gonna try to come in naked next fight, so he don't lose an old man. If he really believed that was the truth, that's how he's gonna come in the next fight. He can't be that stupid.
No motherfucker coming in, he coming in WWE style of some speedos, nigga.
And nigga, trying to hear shit about his legs. Them niggas gonna be pushing that nigga in a wheelchair. We ain't gonna hear shit about his legs. Your legs gonna be fresh as fuck.
Oh my God! Look, they need to have some. They need to have an ambulance on standby if he really planned on the trilogy, you know. And you know, I'm not even gonna say the ambulance for Fury, but you know, he probably gonna get beat up the same way, maybe a little worse. But if he dares to cross the pond and go fight Anthony Joshua, I don't know, man. I don't see no way that he's not leaving, but on a stretcher. That's it. On a stretcher, if he fights Anthony Joshua, it's power too much. He can take too many big shots. He might knock that boy head off his shoulders.
I see no way. Deontay Wilder beats Joshua. Now, look, I said this, and Nuke and I used to go back and forth about this, and I always stay consistent. Just the same way I'm gonna stay consistent with it now. Before that first Andy Ruiz fight, Joshua has some specific deficiencies that I talked about. And Nuke knows that he adjusted all of those things that I talked about before the Ruiz fight. Okay? Joshua has fixed those things and even more. Okay? So the Anthony Joshua that I used to talk about that was 50-50 with Wilder was because I knew Anthony Joshua, if he didn't stop Wilder, if he did like say a Luis Ortiz and didn't stop this guy before the 6th or 7th round, Wilder was going to slip that hand in there and knock him out because Anthony Joshua was going to gas out and he didn't have the correct footwork to stay away from it. But now he has no fucking chance because Anthony Joshua showed us that he improved and worked on footwork, and don't think he's stopped working on that shit. He's going to continue to work on that. So it would be even better when he met Wilder. Also, he's the second hardest puncher in the division. So if Fury can knock his ass stupid like that, what do you think Anthony Joshua is going to do to him? He has no fucking chance against him.
And I'm going to support D on this. D named all of the deficiencies we saw before the Andy Ruiz fight that people realized after the fight. He saw this. The man knows his boxing. He knows more than just donut holes and shit. D. Jefferson knows his boxing.
I appreciate that, my brother. Appreciate that.
Listen, I give him credit. He knows his boxing. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's go ahead and check on that. Everybody, give me your final thoughts on any topic you want.
Yeah, was it snowing?
Oh shit, it's snowing over there. It was hailing here yesterday. But look, I just want to say this. everybody that believe that, and I'm going to put a video out about this today. Everybody that believes, we didn't talk about this. I wish we would have, but we'll do it next time. That Lomachenko is going to make Teofimo quit on his stool. You idiots. That's my closing thought. Shout out to you, my brother Nuke, Mr. Two Hands, Charles D. Appreciate you for having me on, Nuke. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure y'all smash that like. We need 1,000. Get 1,000 likes.
I just wanted to say this, man. Salute to the chat, man. And y'all give 78 Sports, man, a bib and a binky, man. Tell that man stop sucking his thumb over there, man. It costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Salute.
Hey, thanks for having a nigga up. T.O. ain't quitting. D, you already know he gonna do it for the town. And Wilder, take that step aside bread, nigga.
Woo! And look, I'm gonna just piggyback on that. If Teofimo, you have to stop him to beat him. He's not gonna quit on his stool. That ain't even no stuff that he's about. He's the bigger, stronger guy. So I don't even see how he's gonna get bullied around like that. It doesn't make sense to me. It sounds like some fanboy nonsense and rhetoric. Let's be honest and unbiased. Salute to Charles D. D Jefferson, Mr. Two Hands Up, the chat, everybody. And if you hate on the IBFP, if you hating on Charles D, slap yourself, then slap your mama.
Oh, they can hate on me.